Today we're going to learn lesson 9.4, volume of prisms. Now we've already learned how to find the volume of a rectangular prism, which is the exact same thing except for we're just going to make the formula more basic so that it applies to every prism. Okay, so the volume of a prism, remember volume is what's inside. So this is like how much you are filling a pool with water, how many little like packing peanuts can fit into a package. It's the space inside of a 3D shape. All right, so the volume of a prism is the product. Remember, product means multiplication of the area of the base and the height of the prism. Okay, so we've learned that a rectangular prism is length times width times height. Now, why this means the exact same thing is because length times width is the area of our base. Okay, so if this is our base, that length times that width is the area of the base. So these two things mean the exact same thing. Okay, notice how this is a capitalized B. The capitalized B means something different than just a base, a lowercase b when we're talking like a triangle. Okay, because a lowercase b is just the measurement of a base, and uppercase B is going to mean the area of a base. Okay, now you're going to multiply the area of that base times your height. Okay, so let's try some examples. So we want to find the volume of this rectangular prism here, and we're going to use our new formula in order to do so. So our first step is always going to be to write out volume equals area of base times height. Okay, I'm just going to make a side note that this B is the area of the base. Okay, so my base is right here. To find the area of that base, I'm going to do 6 times 8. My height of the rectangular prism is 15. So to find this answer, I'm just going to do 6 times 8 times 15, which is 720. Okay, let's remember that volume is always cubic units because you are taking 3 measurements and multiplying. So yards times yards is yards to the 3rd power, or yards cubed. Okay, so the volume of this rectangular prism would be 720 yards cubed. Here we have a triangular prism. We are going to use the exact same formula. Okay, so volume equals the area of the base times our height. Okay, so the area of the base in a triangular prism, the triangles are our bases. So the area of that triangle would be 2 times 5.5. And since it's a triangle, we have to divide that by 2. And that's just going to give us the area of this base. Okay, then the height of that triangular prism is 4. So we're going to take that number and multiply it by 4. All right, well, we're going to notice that 5.5 times 2 divided by 2 is just going to be 5.5. Then we multiply it by our height, which is 4. 5.5 times 4 gives us a volume of 22 cubic inches, or inches cubed. Okay, so that would be our answer here. I would like you to pause the video and try these next two on your own, then resume the video, and you can check your answer with what I have up here. So the volume of this cube is going to be area of the base times the height. Base is going to be 4 times 4. Height, also 4. So we have 4 times 4, which is 16, times 4, which is 64 feet cubed. All right. Then we have number 2. Again, volume equals the area of the base times the height. Volume equals our base, which is a triangle. 5 times 12, area of a triangle, we divide by 2, times our height, which is 9. 5 times 12 is 60, divided by 2 gives us 30, times 9. 30 times 9 is going to come out to 270 meters cubed. If you made a mistake here and you can't find where you made the mistake, make sure you circle the number of the question or put a big star next to it or something so that you remember to raise your hand and ask me about it. Example 3. Okay, so now we're going to get a little bit trickier. Here we have a real life application. So a movie theater designs 2 bags to hold 96 cubic inches of popcorn. If it holds 96 cubic inches, that is telling us that the inside is 96 cubic inches, which is volume. Okay. We want to find the height of each bag. All right, well, that should be simple enough. So we have bag A. Okay, volume equals area of the base times the height. Okay, well, we know what our volume is, so we're going to plug that in for our volume. The base of bag A is going to be this rectangle down here, which is 3 by 4 times that height, which we don't know. So we're just going to leave it as an H. We're going to simplify. 96 equals 12 times H, since 3 times 4 is 12. Last step, we want to get H all by itself, so we have to cancel out times 12 by dividing by 12. We get that height being equal to 8 inches. Okay, for bag A. Then we're going to do bag B. Same thing, volume equals area of the base times the height. That volume, both bags hold 96 cubic inches, so we're going to plug in 96 for the volume. Area of the base for this bag is 4 by 4, and we don't know that height. So we're going to simplify. 96 equals 16. 4 times 4 is 16 times our height. To get H by itself, we have to cancel out a times 16. Divide by 16. Divide by 16. We have 6 inches equals our height for bag B. All right, so that is what they asked us to find in part A. There's also a part B. It says, which bag should the theater use to reduce the amount of paper? The amount of paper needed to create this bag is the surface area. Okay, so now we need to find the surface area of each bag and compare them. If they want to reduce the amount of paper that they are using, we want to find the one with a smaller surface area. All right. So again, we're going to do different colors. Let's do bag A and bag B. We are doing surface area. Okay. Now, what do we notice about these bags? Okay, yes, they are rectangular prisms, which is probably one of the easier ones to find the surface area. But we notice that when you have a bag of popcorn, there's no top. Okay, so normally when we find the surface area of a rectangular prism, we're going to multiply each side by 2 since there's an opposite side. But when we find this bottom, we have to remember not to multiply it by 2 because there is no top. Okay, so we have our 3 by 4 base. And we are not going to multiply it by 2 because there is no top. Then we have our left and right sides, which are 3 by our height, which for bag A was 8. So 3 by 8. And we do have a right and left side, so that's times 2, which gives us 3 times 8, which is 24. Times 2 is 48. Then we have that front and back, which is 4 by our height, which is 8. So 4 times 8, front and back, times 2. 32 times 2 is going to give us 64. Last step, to find that total surface area, we add those numbers up, and we get 124 inches squared surface area. Okay. Same process for bag B. Again, we're not going to have a top, so we need to make sure that we don't do a top and bottom. So we're just going to have 1 4 by 4 for bag B. So that gives us 16. We have our left and right side, which is our 4 inches by our height. Our height for bag B was 6. So 4 by 6. And we have a right and left side times 2, which gives us 4 times 6, 24, times 2 is 48. Last but not least, we have to do our front and back, which is going to be 4 by our height, which is 6. So another 4 by 6, front and back, times 2, which is going to give us another 48. Last step, to find that surface area, we are going to add those 3 numbers up, and we will get 112 inches squared because it's surface area. All right. However, we're not finished. We did not yet answer the question. The question asked, which bag should the theater choose to reduce the amount of paper needed? So we wanted the smaller surface area, and explain why. Okay, so when we're comparing these two surface areas, bag A was 124, bag B 112. We are going to answer this question by saying we would choose bag B because it has a smaller surface area, so it would use less paper to make. Right, and that would be our answer to this question. You are not going to have questions like this on your test. However, the extra credit on the test is going to be something similar to this. As always, if you have questions, if something was confusing, rewind the video, pause, raise your hand, ask questions, record any questions you have on the side of your paper, however you're going to go about that, but just make sure that I can clear that up for you.